Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my life. And in today's video, I just wanna maybe talk quickly about the day and about something that I've been thinking about with regards to making these videos. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, let's talk about today. Basically today, what did I do? I mostly stayed at home to work from home, and I've actually noticed this pattern in how I work is that usually it's good when I wake up. I have first few meetings of the day, then have some breakfast food while reading some book or something like this. Then, this is a trick, have a nap, and then wake up and actually work. And this is actually the thing that I've the routine that honestly makes me perform my best. I don't know why it works, but basically it's just I wake up entirely refreshed from the nap and I'm able to just tackle whatever I have in front of me head on. So this is just something that I've noticed myself do, like on the days where things go well. This is usually how it goes, right? I feel bad about, not immediately starting to work, but I've just come to realize that this is the best way to do it, like the way that works the best for me. And so instead of fighting against it, it might be a good thing to embrace it. And obviously I can embrace this much more easily when I'm working from home because I can just set my own timing for stuff. Whereas when I go to work, I first of all spend so much time commuting that it's insane, and also there's like somewhat peer pressure to look busy that actually does not allow me to perform at my best. And yeah, it's just a reflection that I've noticed in my life, and that basically I'm learning to accept that this is a good way to do it. And yeah, just today was really fun. I mean, really interesting. I worked a bit on my new project, so just been ramping up, reading documents, and like looking at the practical part. So just chasing some people to get some approvals, and that's it. And what else? Went and did some groceries. Then I watched this thing, which is absolutely amazing, and I definitely recommend you go check it out, which is the Dua Lipa Glastonbury performance of Be the One, Glastonbury 2024. I don't know, maybe there's another one by the time that this video comes out, but wow, it's such a good performance. I absolutely loved it. It was just so energizing and stuff. And the reason for this, why I loved this performance so much, it's not so much about the dancing, although it is good. I mean, like Dua Lipa is a very good dancer, and like the dancers that she hires are also very good. That's very cool, right? That's kind of the defining feature of her performances. She's such a good dancer, performer, whatever. But what I really enjoyed was just that true feeling of joy that I don't know, that comes out so rarely, that you don't find anywhere. And basically that feeling of joy I would only find in Coldplay music, especially the live performances. Wow, I just love them. That's why for a really long period of time I would just listen on repeat to the Coldplay album, Head Full of Dreams, from the Head Full of Dreams tour. Let me tell you what is. Yeah, I think it's Live in Buenos Aires album. That was like a beautiful album, and I really think more artists should just record these performances and just put them out as albums, because there is nothing that captures this beautiful live energy, and I really think they should make it accessible. It's basically joy captured on a recording. It's just wow. And that's what I loved so much about this performance. It was just pure joy captured. That's why I think you should definitely go check it out. Whether it's Futurita, whether whoever is watching this right now, go look at this performance. It's so good. It will give you an energy pump. What I really love is the instrumentals, and the kind of loop in the music. It's just so well done. And that's something that artists don't get enough credit for, because, in the live performance, they rework all of their tracks and add new instruments and expand them for some specific sessions and make them shorter for some specific things. And wow, it's just so amazing to witness, and that's what makes live performances such a treat. And I wish I could capture all of the live performances that I've seen, just so that I can listen to those tracks, right, from the extended versions, and because usually by the time that artists are on tour, they've been reworking the tracks over and over again so that they fit well on the tour, and that's just wow. It's so amazing, and it completely blows my mind every time, and I absolutely love that, and I wish I could just have it on an album that I can listen to it and capture that joy, and utilize that joy in my day-to-day life, right? Because that's somewhat how I use music. It's to be able to get some emotions on repeat. And the thing is, sometimes I like the live versions more than I like the actual songs, because the actual songs are super clean cut and somewhat perfected. But I love the perfect imperfections of live performances. It's just so magical, and just kind of transports you to that specific beautiful world. So yeah, that's just a huge appreciation for all of the musicians in my life. Your job is super important. It's what keeps all of us non-musicians, or maybe non-professional musicians, alive and going. It's what allows me to it's what helps me do my day-to-day job. Every time I work, I have music in my ears. Every time I wake up and I want to feel in a good mood, I put music on. Music is just everywhere in my life, and it's just something that we tend to underestimate the value of, just because it does not have a direct impact on anything quote unquote meaningful, but the downstream impact from this is just insane. At least in my life, if I didn't have music, if I didn't have Imagine Dragons, if I didn't have Coldplay, if I didn't have One Republic, if I didn't have so many artists, so many songs, so much music, I don't think I would be where I am today. And it's the kind it's what kept me going through, keeps me going through the difficult moments and allows me to push through. Without this, I would not have run my half marathons. I would not just. It's insane, right? It's just plays such a big role, and I'm super grateful for this. To be living in a day and age where we get to have this on demand, and yeah, just super grateful for that. So yeah, that's the first part of what I wanted to talk about today. So about my day that turned into a message of appreciation for musicians and artists and just the people that keep us going and keep us joyful and get us to feel all of these different emotions on demand and capture all of these emotions on a 3 minute, 5 minute track, which is just absolutely mind-boggling to see and experience, and it's such a privilege to be able to have access to this, right? To live in a time where it's so democratized that I might never meet any of these artists. I mean, I have at concerts, right? But their music has had such an impact on my life. So yeah, just immense word of gratitude. And anyway, the second thing that I wanted to talk about today is this idea of putting constraints on things. And so basically this came to mind after yesterday's video, where basically I only had 6 minutes to make a Rita Talks video. And I think it made me more concise and less rambly, maybe less rambly than today's video, because I knew that I had a very small window of time where I needed to say something and get some message across in a concise way, and that forced me to structure my thoughts better and already have figured out the topic that I wanted to talk about. And that's actually something that makes me a better speaker. I think the same principle applies to writing, or at least this principle comes from writing and kind of also carries on to speaking, where basically the most, like, the hardest writing, the most skill intensive writing is the concise writing. And when you give yourself a constraint of like conciseness and like length, it forces you to become a better writer, because it forces you to decide, to make better decisions on what to keep and what not to keep. And the same applies for speaking. That's why you see, for example, comedians, they slowly build up their material from 5 minutes of material to 20 to 30 to a full hour. And to get to a full hour, it takes them years of getting just the right material, so that every minute you have a new joke, a new hit, a new, like, the density, like, so that the material becomes super dense. And so basically that hour is just stacking 3 minutes plus 3 minutes plus 3 minutes plus 3 minutes plus 3 minutes of all of these little stories, and then aligning them in an optimal way, given that you've had optimal individual stories, right? So I don't know if that makes sense, but basically working on the small components and making sure the quality is really high on that. Basically the constraint of conciseness, that's what it allows us to do. Yeah, it allows for the work to be overall better over time. So yeah, that's just something that sprung to mind yesterday when I had the constraint of filming a video in under 6 minutes, because I knew my SD card was going to run out of space. So yeah, this video is not very concise, but I am getting better at these kinds of things, and maybe I should some days basically apply the constraint of making these videos smaller and smaller, so that I can become a better, more concise speaker over time. And then after that, the longer I make the videos, the that conciseness will kind of translate, and it will be longer but also denser. So the conciseness, like the time constraint, is what allows me to develop what will allow me to develop the density. And then once I've mastered density over the micro, we can scale it by just having a more dense overall longer videos. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's something that's worth exploring and that I just thought I would talk about today. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, so the one right before this one, or you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel. Overall, thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is, where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!